Hello YouTube, today is Martin Luther King Day. I hope you guys are celebrating some way, somehow, whether if it's just being home and reading his speeches, watching his speeches, whatever you do to just remember him on this day. Remember our ancestors and people before us that worked hard to have what we have. We got a long way to go, but we've come a long way. And I always say that, thank God that we can go to any restaurant. Thank God that we could sit in the front of the bus. Amen. That we do have rights, that we could go to any college of our choice, that we could work at any job, even though you still have racism. But the comforting thing is that they cannot do that anymore under the law. That if you feel like racism played a part in anything, you can now sue. And that's a beautiful thing. He had to fight so we could live. Remember Dr. Martin Luther King. I wanted to talk today, kind of part 2 of being a parent. Yesterday on Sunday, I was watching Tubi. Tubi is wonderful. If you don't have the app, I'm here to tell you, please download the Tubi app. Download it. You won't regret it. It has all the documentaries you need to see. I found out that Prince, they put something in his fentanyl. They didn't really investigate it, but they need to. They have documentaries on Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Travis Scott. I talked about that yesterday. And today I'm going to talk about a movie called In My Daughter's Honor. Now, this movie was so sad to me because a lot of the times when you have a student-teacher relationship in a lot of these movies, they always romanticize it to make it seem like the child wanted it. Well, in this case, she didn't want it. He stalked her and he basically forced himself on her.
Hey guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, BP.
So he basically forced her, and he forced to tell everybody when she would be around boys her own age. He would get jealous. Like, this girl was really going through it, and sadly, it's based on a true story. And one thing that I did learn from this movie is that prior to 1996, it was not illegal for a teacher to molest a child, which is so crazy to me. But basically, once her parents took it to law enforcement and they got a lawyer and they fought in court, that's when they came up with the abuse of power. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of something called abuse of power. So basically, abuse of power, he was her coach, he was her teacher. So she felt like she had to have sex with him, and also he threatened her. He was like, if you don't continue, because she told him, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. You're old as hell. You're my teacher. You're my coach. You're controlling me. I can't see boys my own age. She was going through it. She's like, I don't want to do this anymore. He would take her in the back of the closet and kiss her. She didn't want that. It's disgusting. And, she was disgusted by him. And he would just make her feel like it was something that she had to do. And I think it's important for people to watch because, not gonna lie, stories like R. Kelly, stories like when you hear stories about teenagers and adults, a lot of the times these children are not virgins, and sometimes they do come on to the adult, even though they be the adult. But you hear a lot of they wanted it. In this case, she did not want it. He was a nasty old man, and he threatened her. He said, if you don't keep seeing me, if you don't keep sleeping with me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And so it was so sad to watch. And how her mother found out, this is what I wanted to talk about. Don't be afraid, guys, to look through your children's belongings. This is how her mother found out. So she was looking through her wallet and she found a picture of him saying, don't change who you are and don't leave me. So she brought it to administration, and they wrote it off as, oh, it's just innocent, whatever, whatever. So the mom went through her room, went through her things, and she saw love letters and cards written from him. So the mother was like, what's going on? I demand an explanation. You saying nothing going on. Why is he writing you these love letters, these things? So then she's like, yo, is he messing with you? What is he doing? The mother kept trying, and that's what I want to tell y'all parents. Don't be ashamed to go through your child's things. I go through my son's things all the time, and I found out things, and sometimes they may hide things from you, but they'll appreciate it when you go the extra mile, when you actually fight for them. If the mother would have never looked through her daughter's stuff, she would have never known that she was being raped by this coach. And also another thing I wanted to bring out about that movie, the husband, the father, because as a mother, we know our children. So the mother was like, oh, something's wrong with her. Something's wrong with Amy. Like, she's just having an attitude all the time. The father go and say, oh, she's a teenager. No, you know your child, okay? Teens are human, yes. But anytime you have a child that all of a sudden they just change out of nowhere, they're having an attitude with you, they're talking back to you, and they was never a child to talk back, something is wrong. I'm going to repeat that again. It's not just hormones. They're not just, these men, and it's not throwing shade to men. But a lot of the times, men are not intuitive, and they don't see what we as women see or mothers see, right? So, something was going on with my son, and I knew something was up. I had a male family member tell me, oh, well, he's a teenager. And I'm like, nah, because I know my son, something ain't right. And sure enough, I found out for myself what it was. So it's like, always listen to your gut. Don't listen to other people. As a mother, listen to your gut. Listen to yourself. You know that something's wrong with your child. You know your child's a good kid. Then all of a sudden they talking back to people, having an attitude, being sassy. Those are all signs that something's going on, right? Those are all signs. It may not be as crazy as they getting raped or molested, but something else might be going on with them. And it's your job as a mother, I'm talking to my mothers, to seek deep. Also, prayer helps too. Ask God for direction and stuff like that. Talk to your child's counselor and social worker, because they might tell them things that they won't tell you. Because teenagers, they're at that age of sponge. They're going to sponge things. And it's your job as a mother to make sure that you protect them, make sure you're there for them. And I love the movie so much in my daughter's honor, because when everybody was calling that girl a slut and a whore for sleeping with the coach, which is sick, because it's like, how is she the slut and the whore? He's the adult. He's the one who stalked her, literally. She said she told him, leave me alone, numerous times. He was blowing up her phone. He would pop up at places. And then in the end, her friends was talking about her. And that's what made it so sad, because the friends was there when he would pop up. So it's like, y'all know that this dude is crazy. Y'all know that this dude was stalking her. And then you're going to talk about her. Like, no, it's not her fault. It's not like the Long Island Lolita where she was chasing him and she shot his wife. That's a completely different story. But in this particular case, this girl did not want the coach. The coach kept coming to her. The coach kept stalking her. And prior to 1996, it was not illegal for adult or coach to sleep with a minor, which is crazy, because 96 was only 20 something years ago, or what, 23 years ago. But or 20, a little more than that. Well, 90, yeah. But anyway, look through your child's stuff. Look through their drawers. Look through their book bags. Look through their stuff. They in your house. There is no privacy. And I just wanted to share that. And the name of the movie is called in my daughter's honor. Beautiful movie. It's very sad, so I must warn you, because it's disgusting to see this man just stalk her. Just stalking a little girl. She 14. What could she do for you? Mentally, sexually, she can't do nothing for you. It's just he had a sickness and he liked control. And then his co-worker, visits him in jail because, I guess some people, they don't want to believe things. So he went and visited him in jail. This man gonna say, oh, I love her. The friend was like, so it's really true what they said? Like, you was messing with, like, she's a child. What's wrong with you? And that's when the friend realized, like, yo, you sick. Like, something's wrong with you. What you talking about? You love her. She's a kid. And it's like, you got to be so careful, And the mother didn't know, I am very careful with my son, not just because he's my only child, but my parents didn't play that. I only was able to spend the night one time my entire childhood. I spent the night, and it was in the building, so my parents didn't mind. But the parents allowed her to spend the night with this coach, and you can't allow that. That's a no-go. He also convinced the father to have her on his camping trip. Little things like that. I remember my son had a teacher and she wanted to take the kids to the movies. And so I said, no. I spoke up. I said, I don't feel comfortable and that's not appropriate. You know what I mean? And she was only taking certain kids. Be careful of that. People who only favor certain kids. Or in this case, it was just her. He wouldn't take no other kids. He would take her and one other person to the camping trip. And the best friend saw them, whatever. But be careful of stuff like that when a teacher comes up to you and they so interested in your child. Beware of that, parents, because that happened in 1996. It's still going on now. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to say no. That movie was very powerful to me because the parents trusted this man. This man was a coach. This man was a teacher. This man took an interest in her academics and would speak up for her. That's how she fell for him, because he would talk to teachers and so she could get better grades, and he would tell her how smart she is. So he knew how to groom her. That's what you call grooming. He knew how to get on the girl's good side. And he was trying to have sex with her for the longest, and she's like, no, I want to wait. I'm 14. And he kept pressing her. Finally, when she spends the night, he pulls her into the room, and at that point, she couldn't scream or say no. So to me, that's rape. When you watch it, it's like, wow, he really raped this girl. It was nothing romantic about it. She kept telling him, yo, I don't want to do this. Leave me alone. He's like, no. He kept stalking her. It's sad because we don't know how that can happen. That can happen to boys too. It's happened to boys where the teacher, an adult trying to get with them and they just won't take no for an answer. So don't be afraid to be a parent. Look through their stuff.